girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their
All right. Good morning. Welcome. Exciting morning. Exciting morning. All right. How's the sound out there today? I bought a cloud lifter for the mic, so it should sound, I mean, I don't have to have my gain all the way up anymore, so that's good. Hopefully it sounds all right. Morning, guys. Welcome back. Buenos dias. Morning, morning, morning. Sounds good. All right, good to hear. The market can't go down. I knew someone was going to say that. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. Who's going to say it first? The market can't go down today. Has to go up. We have to go up on Friday. All right. Welcome back, everyone. How we doing? How we doing? Should be an exciting day. Should be some opportunities out there. Yeah. Mark, I'm just making jokes, man. Friday in the live stream, you know, we had the Nostradamuses, and again, we can see why we can't do that. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely getting cash. I'm moving some cash into my long term today. I did already, so just having that cash ready when I think the opportunity does present itself, which I absolutely think it will. This is when, this is when that fear starts coming in. This is when you start to think about, where those long-term opportunities, right? Definitely. I think you want to wait for some of the panic to slow down, right? Some of the downside to slow down. I don't think you just go in on a Monday morning and start smacking the shares, but I think it's definitely something to start looking at, right? Make sure that cash is in there. Just make sure it's ready to go if you do find something. More than anything, I've been buying TLT, which has been fantastic. On Friday, I bought more shares of TLT. I bought some calls on TLT. You guys in the community know that. So the TLT calls and the shares are a great place. It looks like a great place to have some money. So that's something I've been doing, which is great, right? Today it's up to $99, $99.20. So that's awesome to see. You guys can see right here that TLT chart looking good. Yeah, so that's good, right? That's really my recent purchases there. We've been talking about that for the last few weeks, about if we do see a lower interest rate environment, that TLT should see some grind to the upside, and we have started to see that. So happy about that. On the individual equities, though, we just got to be, watching, where these levels are. Some big breaks today. Some big breaks under key levels, right? Nvidia under that 97, no bueno for Nvidia. Definitely could see, if we stay under that 97, could definitely see more downside there. So full cash today in the Interactive Brokers account. The E-Trade account is where that TLT lives. Yeah, should be exciting. But really, let's just get right into the levels, right? That's really what's going to be key today. You got to find a way to be patient today, right? You got to find a way to slow down, right? To not be so anxious today after what you've seen. That's going to be key, right? If you want to perform at the best of your ability today, if you want to perform and make money to the direction that the market shows, you can't come into the day with any type of emotion. We approach today like we approach any other day. If we start moving under key levels, we start rejecting them. We look for the downside. If we see pops and we see fades, we look for that pop and fade trade. That's going to be very key today, right? Let's approach this day. Let's approach this live stream like we approach every other live stream. Focus on the levels. Focus on the charts. Focus on where we look for rejections, where we look for potential holds. Pay attention to what's happening on the intraday. That is the key. All right? So, let's do it. Let's lock in. Let's pay attention. Money to be made to both sides all the time. And right now, the money has been to the downside. And let's continue to watch the opportunities that are eyes. All right? Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's dive in. Here we go. Interesting day. Here we go. Exciting. Should be exciting. Should not be scared. If you invest with money you can afford to see downside in, and if you protect your portfolios, this is opportunity that is fantastic to see. So let's do it. Monday. Today. Not much. ISM final services PMI. ISM services PMI, 9:45, 10 o'clock. Let's just be aware of that. 15 minutes, 30 minutes after market opens. Keep an eye on that. I'm not sure that's going to really change what the market's doing, but let's keep an eye and see what happens there. Tomorrow, not much. Wednesday, not much. 10-year bond auction. That'll be interesting. That's actually going to be an interesting bond auction this time around, right? Obviously, with some of the bonds, the 10-year dropping recently, should be something to watch there. The U.S. 10-year, if we go here, /10Y, you can obviously see the 10-year has been dropping. So this is going to be an interesting bond auction this time around, definitely. So let's keep an eye on that. Let me pull back up that economic calendar. Thursday, unemployment claims, 30-year bond auction on Thursday as well at 1 o'clock. And that's about it, right? Pretty light on the economic calendar this week. Pretty light. So we can definitely focus in on those technical levels. Let's go ahead and pull up the earnings calendar. Let's take a look at those earnings, see what we got this week for the earnings side. Here we go. Here are the earnings side. So earnings side, we can see right here. Today after close, Palantir, Hims, Clover, Lucid, Avis, Budget, not much there. Tomorrow morning, Uber, Celsius, Fubo, Caterpillar, SMCI. That's going to be very interesting Tuesday after close. Rivian, Airbnb, Reddit, Wynn, Shopify, Walt Disney on Wednesday, Robinhood on Wednesday as well after hours. Eli Lilly, Thursday before open, Datadog, Novavax, nothing too crazy there. SoundHound, Elf, Unity Software. So really, guys, if you look at this, right, just sort of ancillary names, nothing major, nothing huge. Really, the biggest one it looks like this week is going to be SMCI for the semiconductors. Besides that, a lot of those smaller names, maybe a little bit of interest in Disney and Shopify. Eli Lilly going to be big for that healthcare sector. So ancillary names, nothing huge, no big tech names. Really, the biggest one here, SMCI. All right. That is that. All right, so let's do it. Let's do charts. Let's get into it. Could be interesting. Here we go. Nasdaq futures. So a lot of new levels today. And, man, let's just take a second and think about how beautiful that 50 SMA rejection that we talked about last week was. That really was the key, right? That failure at that 19,750. And, I mean, look at this thing. What a beautiful failure that 50 SMA that was last week. So if we zoom out, right, we definitely got to zoom out here. And we got to look back left, right? We're going to have to start looking left. No doubt about it. We're looking back at the beginning of this year. All right, guys? So something to pay attention to, right? We are at January levels. So we are back at where this year started. So we basically have given back 6-7 months of upside in a week. So it's crazy, right? It's crazy to see. When it rains, it pours. So you guys can see right here, the first level that I am sort of eyeing, that I'm sort of keeping an eye on this morning, is right around this 760 area. 760 to around 17,670, my bad, 670 to around, looks like around this 565 area, right? Right around here. You see this little low right here, around that 550. So I'm going to go ahead and put that level there at 550 real quick. 1 second. So if we look at this chart, right, we can see we're looking at a few levels here. We're watching this high right here. You guys see this high right here? That high right there, that's back from December 28th of 2023. So you guys can see right there, December 28th of 2023, right? You can see that high right there. That is 17,670. So if we go into the short-term time frames today, we can see really quickly, right, that 17,670 level is dancing a little bit this morning, right? We can see a little bit of a dance there at 17,670, but it is sort of giving that up right now. So that's interesting to see, right? So that 17,670 level, starting to, it tried to hold here in the pre-market, starting to give it up a little bit. Now, below that level, let's go back to that 4-hour chart. So if we go back to this 4-hour, let me go ahead and zoom in here. If we zoom in on this 4-hour from back in December, we can see under that 670, we have these previous highs right here. Right here, we have around that 17,550, which was also a hold right here, 17,550. So that's something to be watching. I think the big hold, right, the key demand is right here at that 17,250. So you can see right here, 17,250, 17,250, 17,250, 17,250. That looks to be a nice spot right there for the market to move down into. 17,250 is sort of where we got that wick bounce in the pre-market today, right? You can see right here that 17,250, pretty close to this low over here, around 17,300, right? But I think that 17,250 is that big low. So I'd be watching that. I definitely would have that 17,250 on your charts. However, I would be, right, I'm a little bit more focused on what this market is doing in the extreme short term. Right, because this is really the level, if I go into the 5-minute chart, this is really the level that I'm focused on more than anything, and it is this 18,000 level. You guys can see right here a very clear failure at 18,000, right? 18,000, tried to hold previously, previous major level. You can see when we slipped under that 18,000 in the after hours, we really got that downside move. We popped back into it, and we can see those failures at 18,000, right? So I would love a little bounce and fade today, right? That's really what we'd love to see. If we can get that morning bounce, right, a little bit of that bounce action back up into 18,000, that would really be what you want to see, right? Move this thing back into 18K. Look for that fade level right there. If we can get that, I'd be fading this all day at 18,000. That's definitely something I'm watching today. 17,670 turning into potential rejection. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that red this morning. That could be somewhere to watch if we stay under that 17,670. That could be something we look to fade. And we would be watching that 17,550 level early morning today. If we get under if we're under 17,670 and we're under 17,550, then I think you are trading back down to this 17,250 level today. All right, I really think you are. All right, if you see this weakness under 670, which you just saw right now, if you break under that 670 and hold, which you are right now, let's watch this 550. Right, if we break under 550, and we're going to look for that failure under 550 and look for that fade back into 250. That is where I would be watching. Any bounces, I would be looking for some fades, right? If we get a bounce towards possibly this little 17.8 area, you can see this 17.8 shelf that was sort of created this morning. I'd look to see if that fades. I would really like to fade into 18K, right? And so something to remember, guys, right? It's Monday morning. The market's pretty, obviously in a very new levels, new areas that haven't been tested since the beginning of this year. I think there's definitely some warrant or some merit to letting this market sort of materialize today, right? Let the market show you what levels may or may not hold on the intraday, right? Let's start to let this market trade at some new levels, right? Let's see what happens here at 550. Let's be observers at 670. Let's observe the intraday, right? Piff, let's calm down, brother, all right? Let's just focus on what's going on, okay? We're not here to call what the market's going to do. Let's just go ahead and watch and pay attention to these levels. That's how we've made money all year, Piff. Let's keep doing it. 17,550, right? That's our first level to watch. Let's see what the market does there. Let's let it materialize, right? There's a lot of opportunity today, but we have to sort of let the market show us some new levels. These are levels that have not been tested. So am I fully confident in some of these levels today? No, guys, I'm not, right? Typically, these levels that we're talking about are levels that have been tested in the short term. They've been, multiple rejections at in the short term, multiple instances of failures, multiple instances of holds. But today, right, it's levels that we haven't seen get tested for a long time. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult, right? It's going to be, hey, I like this level. I'm going to watch it, but am I going to be that confident in it? Probably not, right? Probably not. So 17,550 is definitely a first spot, right? That's definitely a first spot. You can see right here, if I zoom in on this 4 hour, right? This right here, this 17,550 is definitely a first spot, right? Right here. Right here, you see this 17,550, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, right? We can absolutely see a lot of stuff there at 17,550. So that's big, right? That right there. So that's first. That's first of the day. What happens there? Very clear. Now, if we see the market get stuck under this, guys, right? We know how to play this, right? We know how to play this, right? If we see the market stuck under this, stuck under this, stuck under this, stuck under this, and this, right? If we see the market start getting stuck under that 550, then we know exactly what we're looking for today. We're looking for that fade of 550, and we're probably looking for the move down into these demand lows at 250, right? So that's very nice. That's very nice right there. Now, if we get a pop, right, see this, that 17,670 that we talked about, right, 17,670, 17,670, right, then we're looking for that pop and fade of 17,670. Let's go into the 5-minute chart, and we can see right here, that's right where we just rejected, right? Look at that, 17,670. So we're looking for that fade of 670. We're looking for that fade under 550, which it looks like we're going to see pretty soon here. And if we get under that 550, I think more downside to come, right, down into that 250. If we get over that 670, then I think we pop and fade into set 18,000, and that could be our next fantastic fade spot. All right, so that's my game plan right now. I got a few short-term levels I'm watching, right? I'm watching that 670. I'm watching that 18K. I'm watching that 550. If we see that bounce off 550 today, I'm going to look to see what we do at 670, right? If we get above it, then I'm going to let this thing sort of pop and fade. I'm going to look for that pop and fade move. But if we just wake up, if that bell rings and we start fading instantly, or we get a rejection at 670, we get a failure under 500, then we're going to have to start attacking those shorts pretty early, under 500, under 670. All right? All right, so that's it for now, right? Today's going to be a lot about learning, to be honest, guys, right? I have to try to explain this the best I can, obviously under some intense movement, but you got to let the market sort of show you some things today, right? Let the market show you what it wants to do at some of these short-term levels. Let it show us, let it give us some information, all right? We've gotten some information so far today. I think the best information we've gotten today is right here at 18,000. We definitely know that this is that new possible, major fade level to be keeping eyes out for, that 18K, right? That's our new major fade level. That's definitely some information that we have seen today, no doubt. So let's make sure we just keep watching where the market is showing us that rejection or that hold, right? Today is going to be very important. All right. QQQ. Big level here on the QQQ at 424.50. If I zoom to the left here, let me try to zoom in on this QQQ a little bit. 424.50. It's really like 424, but I call it 424.50, 424, all in that area. You guys can see right here, right? We had some previous highs, previous lows here, some previous lows here. This 424, 424.50 area. I might move this down to 424, actually. I think I like 424 flat a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and move that to 424 today. If we get under 424, which is right here, right? I'm going to zoom in a little bit more on this, actually. You can see right here, this 424, right? And if I go left, look at over here, right? 424, see that right there? If I go left more, you can see 424, 424 action, 424 action, 424 action there and there. So if I see the market under 424 today, then we're going lower, okay? Right? I'm going to go into this 5-minute chart. You can see right now, we're coming down to test that as we speak. Right? So if we break under that 424 level, right, then we're going to probably look, actually, right, and you can see it's really that whole zone, 424 to around this 424.50. If we see a short, or if we see that market under 424, right, and we see that rejection maybe under these lows right here, this could be a fantastic downside continuation move, okay? So anywhere between 424, which is right here, which you can see actually just caused a little bit of a reaction right there. So you can see you're starting to get into that reactionary zone, right? Look at that 424. So 424, big spot, right? If we get under that, I think we go to 420, okay? That's really my next support below under 424 is 420. Now 420 blaze it. Maybe that's where the market wants to go today, right? Let me zoom in on this, right? Look at this little 4-hour chart here. Look at under 424, right? Under 424, look at this. 420, right? I think that's your next spot right there, 420. Under 420, I'm watching this 417. If I go back to the left, right, we can take a look at 417. That is right here, guys, right? 417. Look at 420, 420, 420, right? So some really clear levels below. 420 and 417 are your next two QQQ levels if you break under 424 today. So let me go into the 5-minute chart. Yep, you just got a crack under that 424. So under 424, you're going to 420, you're going to 417. If you watch this today, right, let's look for those rejections under 424, okay? So now that we're under it, let's look to see if we can get a fade under 424 today into 420, into 417. If we do get above 424 and we hold above that low from the after hours here, then I think you could see this sort of fade higher and just sort of hold there. I'd be watching this right here in the short term. Let me go ahead and draw some short-term levels for you. 427.50. That looks very nice, right? That could be a fantastic fade spot today. See this right here? Go ahead and put that on the charts there, right? Look at this. 427.50 right here and right here, right? Look how clear that is. Look at that rejection that just came in. So 427.50, very nice, right? That's a possible pop and fader today. I'd be watching that. If you get above that, I'd say you're watching right here around that 431. Right? See this little 431 spot? See this? 431 right there. Little short-term level. 431, 427.50. Pop and fader, or the ultimate pop and fade is 436, right? That's the ultimate pop and fade right there. 436, 436. So 436, ultimate pop and fade if we get it. I'm not sure we will. 431, nice level. 427.50, nice level. 424, big level that we just cracked, and you can see what's happening because of it. If we get a pop and fade at 424, great spot to watch today. Next level, 420, 417. All right? Man, this thing's running away. ES. Oof. 5190 crack. That's a big crack right there. 5190. All right, so let's take a look at this ES right here. 5190 was the level I had on my charts here. Look at this. 5190, 5190, 5190, 5190. That's a big spot, ES 5190, right? Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very clear area on the ES 5190. And we just cracked that. That's also, actually, no, it's not that 200. 200's coming in soon. But you guys can see that 5190 spot. That is a very clear level here. And that is now the level that I would look for that pop and fade today. Right? That is now that pop and fade level that I would be looking for today. So if we can get that, I'm not sure we will, obviously because of how much this is quickly dropping. But now, very clear, right? Anywhere between that 5190 and that 5200. Whoop, that's not what I want. 1 second. Actually, you know what? I will leave it like that. I'm going to do this right here. Put this. Can I please get the. Jeez. What is this thing doing? I'm going to put my level here. 5200 to 5190, right? I want it to be just like this. That's what I want right there, right? So now, right, if I get a pop today, I'm going to look for that fade of this previous low at 52. I'm going to look for a fade of that 5190. That could be a fantastic bounce and fade spot to watch today. 5190, 5200, if we get a pop into that level at any point today, that could be that ultimate fader spot. I would absolutely be watching that. So let's keep an eye on that, all right? 5190, 5200, big spot to watch there. If we stay under that level, our next spot is extremely clear here on the ES. That is right here. Look how clear this is at 5090. 5090 right here. 5090, 5090, 5090, 5090, and 5090. Under 5090 on the ES, that is dangerous, okay? Under 5090 looks very dangerous to me. Under 5090, I don't see much until right here, which is around that 5,000, right? That's 5,000 on the ES. That could be sort of this low right here, this low right here. If we break under that 90 level, that's going to be probably your next spot at 5,000, okay? 5090, 5,000. That 200 SMA is where we're trading right now, right? You can see that right now. Look at that 200 SMA, right? Look at this 200 SMA right there. So what I would love to see, hey, Piff, appreciate that, brother. 5 gifted memberships for the boys. Mo, Sun, Lewis, Cozy Coconut, Charlie, GG Piff. Yeah, 50090. Ricky knows. 50090, big level there, right? 200 SMA right here that you're starting to try to dance around. Man, would this be the trade of the day, right? Man, would this be the trade of the day right there at 5190, 5200. That would be trade of the day. Hold on. So 5200, 5190, right? That's your spot. Watch that. Watch this 200 SMA. Could be a little bit of bounce action there. If we do get that bounce action here, let's look for that fader. And the ultimate downside level that I think you could come down to is that 5090. Okay? Very nice. Very, very nice. Guys, once again, please listen. Please listen to this. And I'm going to reiterate this all week. And I'm going to be very tight about this in the community. If you're part of the Discord community, listen up. This week is not about guessing what is going on. It's about, if you want to make money from this opportunity here, It's about staying as unbiased as possible, trading the charts, and really locking in, right? It is not about telling people why this is happening, arguing with people about what's going to happen with Fed rate cuts. It's not about trying to guess all this stuff that is irrelevant to us on an intraday. Let's focus on the levels. Let's trade the charts. Let's make money this week, all right? That's what's going to make us money. That's always what's going to make us money. We've seen that. I don't know how many times we could see that, how clear that is. We've gotten in little tussles with Nostradamuses all week in this live stream about knowing that the market's going to bounce. And that is not what's made you money, right? What's made you money is continue to watch for those retest rejections, continue to look for the market to reject under previous lows, continue to trade that downside continuation, right? That's really what has made us money. So let's keep doing it, all right? All right, so the SPY, right? 510 right here. Look how clear this is. 510. You see this previous high right here at 510? That's going to be a big spot today, right? 510, big spot on the SPY. 5010. Wow, we're back at 5010. Actually, I think we made jokes about 4010, didn't we? Was it 4010 we made the jokes about? Was it 4010 or was it 5010? I don't remember. Someone remembers. I don't know if we made jokes about 4010 or 5010. But anyways, so SPY 510, right? That's our first level. If we go to the 5-minute chart, we can see we're sort of failing that right now as we speak. Look at this right here, 510, failing on that 5-minute chart. So that is a big spot right there, right? Right there, 510. If we stay under 510, we're staying weak, okay? If we get back above 510, right? If we get back above 510, this is the ultimate fade spot today, right here, 516. That is a beautiful fade spot, beautiful fade spot. That is a previous low here from the futures market. That is a low here, right, from the pre-market, and that is where we rejected and saw this downside come in. If we can get a pop in the 516 today, that would be something special, right? That would really be something special if we can get that pop and fade. That is exactly what happened here, right? That caused that downside trade, right? Look at this. Look at the pop and fade. Pop, fade. Previous lows, pop, fade, right? Guys, this is where we want to take our shorts this week, right? This is where we are aggressive short entries at previous lows. This is where you take shorts on downside driving markets, right? When the market's going straight up, you look for pullback longs, right? When the market's going straight down, you look for bounces and fades, okay? It's the same concept. So this was that low from the futures market, right? Sunday market. You can see, look at what the market did today. It popped. It started to fade that 524, and it faded, right? It popped, rejected, and faded. So what's the really big opportunity this week? This is going to be the big opportunity this week, right here at 516. Pop back into these lows. Get a fade right there, set up some shorts around that 516. That could really be the great opportunity. All right, so let's pay attention to that level very closely this week. 516 on the SPY. That could be an awesome, awesome spot to watch. If we see nothing here at 510, right? Yeah, the problem is that it's not bouncing. I agree, Gustavo. I do agree, right? The problem is, do we get the bounces? That's still to be seen. So level to watch here, right? 510. You can see right here, 510. That's a level to watch. If we get under that, I don't know if I like much until here at 500, right? I really don't know if I like much. If we get under 510 and see weakness, I really don't know if I like much until 500, right? You can see right here, 500, 500, 500. I really don't know if I like much until 500 to really be confidently on a confident hold anywhere. That 500 is also what, right? That 500 is also what? It's that daily 200 SMA, right? It's that daily 200 SMA, okay? So 500, daily 200 SMA, that might be the spot, guys, right? That might be where this market needs to drop to. So let's look at that 500 spot on the SPY. Yeah, if we're at 508, right? Look at what just happened, right? Look at what just happened. Look at that 510 rejection right there. Bam. All right, so what can we watch now? We can watch for that early morning 510 rejection. We absolutely can, right? We can absolutely look for that bounce and fade at 510 today. If we can get that, right, that could be beautiful. So 510, 516, right? Those are my two spots for that bounce and fade trade. Let's keep an eye on those two spots. I really think that ultimate target might be that 500 and that daily 200 SMA right here. That really might be your ultimate target, okay? IWM underneath 197.50 gets ugly. Ugly. Right here, let me zoom in here. IWM, what a fake on IWM, man. Look at that thing. Ouch. Ugly, right? So right here, IWM 197.50 in that 200 SMA. If we stay weak under that, guys, I think you're trading to here, right? I think you're trading the 191. If you hold under that 197.50 here, if you hold under that low right there, if you are holding under 197.50 today, I think you are going to eventually see this trade into 191. If we go to that 5-minute chart, we can see right here, we got that 200 SMA. We got that 197.50 level clear as day right now. If we see this today, rejections under that 200, rejections underneath that 197.50, if we see failures under this level today, I think you are going to see a trade into that 191 right here, okay? So watch that 197.50 today very closely in IWM. Very, very big. All right. 2,700 people. Ouch. A lot of people are interested in the markets today, huh? A lot of people are interested in the markets today. Guys, to the 2,700 of you, okay, that are here, the 700 of you that are typically not here, I want to make it very clear. Today's levels are untested in a very long time, okay? I want to make this very clear. The levels that we are talking about today have been untested for 7 months. Okay, this is going to be a lot about your ability intraday to react to what the market is doing. There is going to be volatility today. There is going to be difficulty today. There's going to be volatility that is something we have not seen in quite some time off levels that have not been tested for 6, 7, 8 months, right? These are back to the start of the year levels. So we need to really let things materialize today. We have to see what's going on, right? I am not here every morning telling you exactly what's going to happen. I do not know what's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen. The people that come here and act like they know what's going to happen don't make money trading. I can guarantee you that. So we have to come into every day we cannot be so egotistical that we think we know what's going to happen. It is such a terrible thing to come into the day and do. You have to come into the day as a student to the market and look at what it's going to do, right? Watch what it's going to do. Understand what it's doing. Get an idea of what it's doing, right? Give it time to materialize. Give it time to show you where that level starts to show, right? What's starting to reject? What's starting to happen? Let me get an idea of that today, and then let me react to what's happening, okay? Very important today, okay? Right? You could get that morning pop straight up. You could get that morning pop straight up, right? You can get that morning pop. You know, people start shorting it open because they're chasing the shit out of it. Market pops straight up, right? People get stopped out of their longs or if they're shorts, and then it fades off 516, right? And then you're here later day looking at that 516 fade and catch an absolutely beautiful trade, okay? So let's let it do its thing, right? Right now, we are seeing that 510 rejection, though, right? Look at that. So that's starting to show us things. It's starting to give us ideas of what to look for, right? Now we can start to say, hey, 510, look at that, right? Let's start watching that now. This is a new level that is starting to show, right? So now we're watching that 510 spot. ES, right? We can see that. Look at that 200 SMA, right? Look at that 200 SMA starting to show you that fail. Very nice, right? 200 SMA starting to show us that rejection. Now we can go ahead and watch that level on the intraday, right? We can start to see how this market is trading on the intraday here and get an idea of what it wants to do, right? Right now, look at what the QQQ is doing, right? That 420.50 level that we just talked about, right? Look at that bounce that's starting to come in, or at least that an attempt, right? An idea of what's starting to happen there, right? This is going to be key, right? We need to start seeing what's happening at these levels to get an idea of what we're going to do on the intraday, okay? That was our 420.50. That was our 420 blaze it level, right? We can see right there, that level has now shown us a reaction. So we can start, these are the things we need to see. We need to see these things before we get some kind of big idea about what the market's going to do today, right? If you just shorted that, bam, right? So careful, right? Careful at these levels. Let's let them materialize. We don't know for sure, what's happening at these levels yet. These are untested for a very long time. All right, let's get into some stocks. Press that like button. Press that like button. Man, shout out to whoever that was. Who was it? I think his name was Brian. Was it Brian? Bear flag on Tesla on Thursday, Friday. Boom, baby. I mean, bam. That thing got smacked. So huge bear flag on Tesla there. What a trade. If whoever's holding Tesla puts today, congratulations. If you held through this, I mean, just an awesome trade. Britt, appreciate you, Britt, for the $4.99. Britt Fisher. Thank you, man. Got to stay grounded, man. Got to stay grounded. That's so important in trading. All right. Tesla. So, first level I'm watching on Tesla here, I think is around this $186 level right here. 186, 186. I think this is a big spot on Tesla. Sean, yep, it was you, Sean. Sean Stamuli, another Paisan. 186 right here. 186, 186, 186. That's the spot, right? 186. That looks like a spot to watch today. If you go to the 5-minute chart, we can start to see a little bit of action there at that 186, right? You see this, 186. You're seeing a little bit of dance there, 186, 185 area. Might actually move that down to 185. It looks like it's a little bit more like 185 there. So 185, 186, I think is a big spot here on Tesla. Tenor. If you signed up on WAP, there is a place you can connect your Discord account. Unfortunately, this is not the place to be asking Margin. Margin does not run the Discord community. He does not have responsibility for that. So please send an email, send me a message somewhere else but the live stream. All right. 185. That looks to be a little level there on Tesla. Now, this is going to be tough, guys, right? Because a lot of stocks are on gap downs this morning, right? This is going to be this is going to be a little bit tough, right? We got a lot of gap downs on the stock market today. So we're going to want some gap fills, right? At least something. We're going to want something of a bounce before. Actually, I think I'm going to move that back to 186. I think it's 186. Hamza, if you send Netflix one more time, I'm going to kick you out of the chat, man. Guys, come on. All right, 186. I think that really is the level there, right? If we zoom in on this 4-hour chart, we can see 186, 186, 186. Yeah, I think it is 186. So I'm going to keep it at 186 there. If we see Tesla fail under 186, then I think you're trading down into 180 right here. Under 186, you're trading down into 180, okay? Under 180, you're trading down into 168. Possibly down into like this 172 area. But I would be watching the first levels to watch today, 186 and 180. Those are my first levels. Those are my short-term levels that I'm keeping eyes out for. 186, 180 are those two levels to watch in the short term today. Right here, 180 and 186. The best trade, which I don't know if we're going to get, right? The best trade, which, we probably will see at some point here. I don't know if you're going to get it into the short term, right? But I think you guys know what the best trade is here. The best trade here on Tesla is this right here. This is the best trade right there. 205, 208, 200 SMA rejections, 50 SMA rejections of these previous highs. This is the sexy trade, right? This is this trade, right? See this market? See Tesla? See how it trades here, right? Look at this. See how it went straight down and then sort of gave you that shitty bear flag and going straight down, right? What are you looking for here, guys? You're looking for the shitty bear flag, okay? The shitty bear flag is what you want on Tesla. You want this. You want this shitty upside move that has weak action that pops back into this fade level and then the fade again, right? That's really what you want. That is what you ideally want on the market if you want to short Tesla, right? You do not want to short into this hole. You want that shitty bounce back into that 205, 208. You want it to do exactly what it did here, right? See this? Back into that previous low, fade, right? You want that exact same thing. So this is the real trade, right? If I see this materialize this week, this is one of those $10, $20, $30,000 swing trades that I would be looking for, right? That's one of those trades. If it's not that, then it's intraday scalps. All right. Ken, appreciate you, Ken. And Skunk, appreciate that as well. Appreciate that, guys. All right, so you can see, right? Tesla giving you a little bit of a dance at that 186, right? I would love this, man. I would love that, right? This would be the sexy spot right there. So let's see, right? If it's not there, then you can, you can watch these little short-term levels, that 191 spot, right? You can keep an eye there. You can keep an eye around this 195 spot, right? Some of these short-term spots. But really, the sexy trade is right here, right? That's the trade, back at that 208, 205. We'll see if we get it, right, guys? I don't think you're going to get it today, but I think it's something to be monitoring, right? I just wanted to keep it on your radar. All right, Nvidia, big Nvidia, right? Big. We are under 98, and that is very, very important, right? We are under that 98 high, and that is very, very important. So you can see right here, remember that 98 spot, 98, 97, 98. That's those previous highs. That's 980 pre-split. That is a level that if we stay under, we're going to see continuation to the downside. Now, if we zoom in on this 4-hour chart, we can see where Nvidia is starting to find some support. First level here, 92. Look at this, 92. Next level, 88. Okay? So 92, 88 are my next two demands to the downside on Nvidia. 92 and 88. Right here, 92. Next level, 88, in my opinion. Could be like 90. A little bit of 90 action, but I think I like 92 and I like 88. Right? You can see that sort of stair-stepping action right here at 92 and 88. Now, if we go into the 5-minute time frame, we can see that 92 is putting up a little bit of a dance, right? We can see the little dance going on here at 92. What would be the best trade of the day? Right here, guys. Best trade of the day. Pop and fade at 98. That's the best trade of the day. If we can get that pop and we can see those failures at 98 again, look at the failures that came in the pre-market. If we can get this, oh, what a beauty that would be, right? What a beauty that would be. So let's look for it, right? Let's look for it. Let's be careful at 92. If we get under 92 and reject, we're going to 88, okay? AMD, ooh, under 125. If we hold under 125 on AMD, let me zoom out here. Under 125 on AMD, we're trading right to 116.50, okay? Right here, look at this. Under 125 on AMD, we're trading here, right here. See that low? 116.50. This low right here on AMD is 116.50. If we stay under 125, that is where I think you will trade into. Let me go ahead and put these levels correctly. Oh, I didn't want to remove that. Sorry. Let me go ahead and put that back. You can see right there, that low right there. And then let me go ahead and put this level here. That's 125, right? If we stay under that 125 level, I think you're going to trade into that 116.50. And so if you go into this short-term time frames here, look at what just happened under 125. Look at that give up under 125. So what am I looking for today on AMD? I'm going to look for the pop and fade at 125. If we get a pop and a rejection at 125, that's a fader I'll be looking for today. Okay? That's a fader I'll be looking for today. If we get above that 125, I think you trade into this right here, this 130, right? You see this? See this 130 right here? 130, 130, very clear. So 125 fades, 130 fades, or 133 fades. Watching all three of those levels. Demand lows at 116 would be the target. Guys, I closed all my swings. Yes, everything. I made that very clear. Actually, closed those like early last week. Where did I close those? Closed those, yeah, right here. Actually, on the 1st. Was that Friday? Time to close that Nvidia swing for me. No reason to hold this now. Taking the 15% and running. Full cash into tomorrow. That was Thursday? Must be Thursday because I said tomorrow. So, yeah, closed everything, guys, on Thursday. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's AMD. Let's go to TSM. TSM 133 is a level to watch here today. I think I'm going to skip TSM because I'm going to stick onto the very important things because we're running out of time. I think Coinbase is one to watch. I will talk about Coinbase because Bitcoin is really getting its smackdown. Bitcoin, 160 right here. 160 on Coinbase is a huge spot. Huge. Right here. Look at this 160. 160, 160. If Coinbase is under 160, you're going lower, okay? If you're under 160 on Coinbase, you're going lower. But 160 would also be a spot I'd be careful of this trying to hold. All right, so watch out for 160 holding. What would be the greatest short on Coinbase? Right here, right? Right here, 190. What a beautiful pop and fade that would be, okay? 160, 190 on Coinbase. Those are your levels to watch. I know it's a wide range, but we're going to have to sort of stay wide ranged for now. 160 demand, 190 beautiful fade spot. Let's look for that bounce and fade at 190. That would be a gorgeous place to look short. Let's go to Meta real quick. Meta, sort of holding up Meta, which is interesting, but I would be very closely watching this 450 level on Meta. 450, and then it looks like you're starting to get like a triple bottom at that 440. You guys see that? Pretty crazy. 440 and that 200 SMA. Sort of interesting there. Actually, here's the fade spot I'd look for right here. That 460. That would be a beautiful fade spot on Meta. Right here, look at this, 460. I'd look for that fade of 460, but look at this right here, right? Look at that 440 triple bottom that's sort of setting in right at that 200 SMA. So let's be careful there, right? I'd be very careful shorting Meta into that triple bottom at 440, but I would say if you can get under that 440, then yeah, it's game time, right? Under 440, under that 200 SMA, it's probably game time, right, to the downside. Under that, you're probably going to fill this gap. Right, if you really do see that break under 440, maybe a little bit of dance at this 425, right? A little bit of dance at that 425 right there. But under 425, it looks like there's really nothing until this earnings gap fill, which we sort of already filled here, right, at that 405. So I would say let's watch that 440. Let's watch that 425. Let's watch that 405. 440 really is the spot, right? 440 and that daily 200 SMA is the spot today. Microsoft. I want to go over Microsoft because Microsoft's another one at some major spots, right? You can see right here. Look at this Microsoft chart. 385 right here. 385, 385. You're at a major spot there on Microsoft at 385. If you get under 385, you are trading down into 377. You can see very clearly this channel that has been formed this morning, right? Look at this. Whatever way this goes short, right? Or whatever way this breaks and holds, that is the way Microsoft is moving, okay? So I would watch a short under 385, and I would watch for this to pop over 396, right? Very clear channel here on Microsoft today. Look how clear that is. So look for the short under 385 into that 377. If we break over 396 today, we are going to gap fill, right? Probably back into this 200 SMA, okay? Google. I wanted to show you Google because Google is in a gap fill in itself, right? We can go here on the 4-hour chart. Google is in that earnings gap fill right now, down into 155. Right here, look at this, 155 and that 200 SMA. That's probably where Google trades back down into. If I go to the 5-minute chart, you can see right here, we're getting very close. That 155 and 200 SMA is right here. That's probably where Google trades down into. Where would be the great fade? Right here, right? Right here, 164. I know it seems far away, guys. I know it seems far away, but I'm telling you that if you can try to come up with some real trades this week, right? Real trades rather than chasing all week. If you can start to spot those really nice next fade spots on any bounce, right? That is where the big money is, right? If you watched Google last week as it faded higher, and you let it sort of fade higher, and you said, hey, I'm going to look for this fade at 175. This looks really interesting for a bounce and fade short, right? It maybe took some time to let it materialize, right? It took some time to let it sort of pop back into that 175. But I'm telling you, right, if you took those shorts at 175 and you stayed confident and stayed patient for that next short, that was the money move, right? So the money move, again, might be to let this thing sort of materialize, let it sort of pop and fade, right? And then look for that next trade, right? That could be the biggest opportunity of the week. So for me, I'm not going to short into that 200 SMA today. It's just not interesting. But what I'll look for is to see if it pops and starts to fade at this 164, right? That could be a really interesting spot, okay? Let's go over Apple real quick. Apple getting crushed. I think a little bit of that Warren Buffett selling stuff, all that, Warren Buffett selling Apple, which is definitely hurting it today, no doubt. Damn, this already did it, huh? Damn. That 205 level. What a beautiful fade at 205. That was the level I was watching for the rejections off today, and it's already done it. So that's sort of unfortunate, right? Look at how beautiful that is. Look at this previous low. Look at these previous lows. That 208, 205 spot. What a beautiful rejection there at these previous lows today. Yeah, you're going to trade back into 196.50, or you're going to get this gap fill into 192. So I'd watch 196.50. I'd watch 192 today on Apple. 196.50, 192. You're probably going to look for that fade. If you move under 196.50, I'd say you fade into 192. I'd be very careful with the 196.50, though. Could see a little bit of support there. You can see here on the 4-hour chart. Let me go out to the 4-hour chart. Look at this right here. You could see a little bit of hold right here at this 196.50, so be careful there. A little bit of hold there is good. Let's look for that pop and fade, right? If we can get that pop on Apple back to the upside, that would be really what I'd look for. If we don't get that pop off 196.50, look for the short underneath it, possibly into that 192, possibly into that 100 SMA. Okay? All right, guys. Unfortunately, I got to get out of here. We're running out of time. We got to do more analysis in the group. So you guys can see. Let's do a quick review of the futures and QQQ and SPY, right? Let's get a quick review there. So for now, guys, look at what you're starting to do, right? You're starting to see that hold of that 420 level. Very nice. 420 level starting to hold, right? What's starting to reject? Look at this. Look at this as we speak. 424, 420, 424.50. These previous lows. What's starting to happen right now, right? Look at how beautiful. You got that pop or that drop. You got the pop. You could see the fade here, okay? So right here, 424.50, 424. That's your level to watch. If you get above that level, you're going here, 427.50. Then you watch to see what happens there. If you get above that, you're watching here, 431, right? And the beautiful fade is up at 436, okay? But right now, look at what you're starting to do. You're starting to hold that 420. SPY, you guys can see right here, tried to hold that 510, sort of fading it again. So let's see what happens at this 510, sort of fading already at that 510. So let's watch that 510. We didn't quite get that 516 bounce. That's really the bounce I'd like to get, is back at 516. So let's keep an eye on what this 510 does to here today. ES, you can see is dancing around this 200 SMA. I think that 5090 is that true spot. What would I really like to see on the ES? A bounce into this 5200 today. If we can get a bounce here into 5200, 5190, that's really the spot that I'm looking for. All right? All right, guys. Once again, good luck. Tomorrow is going to be a little bit easier. We're going to see some levels develop today, and then we can start to work off of them throughout the rest of the week. So today is a lot about building, right? Let's build some clear levels for the week, right? That's today's goal. Today's goal is stay alive. Let's watch what the market does. Let's see how it settles. Let's keep an eye on the levels that do end up holding, that do end up rejecting, and then let's continue to build off our game plan throughout the rest of the week, right? We're going to get today. We're going to see the levels develop. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to start to be able to develop that game plan and fine-tune it through the rest of the week, right? We can't really fine-tune today without seeing what's going to happen, right? We need to see and physically see what happens today, and then we can fine-tune it over the rest of the week, fine-tune that game plan, and start to really trade and get aggressive off those levels, all right? So to the 2,500, 2,700 you that came in today, I challenge you to come back. I challenge you to come back. Don't just come here on a day that the market's straight down. Come back every day. Start trying to learn. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the live stream. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace and love. Adios.